morning. We represent the Cumberland Watering Systems, and here with me I have Josephine Mace, Cade Rivers, Scott Jacks, and I'm Taylor Fuller.
Today we've been given four different people and four different companies with very different needs, very different wants. We've looked over our binders and what we've been given, and we have four different pitches for you. Some of them are different than others. Taylor, if you would start with number one.
Okay, so the first customer profile we have is the Parker Family Poultry. They're a very family-owned profile. They are located in Dalhart, Texas, and they have 6 chicken houses with roughly like 30,000 birds in each house. They're focusing on high-level efficiency and bird health. So we thought to pitch the 4023 high flow nipple with the base model system. And this system comes with all parts and chips in the 10-foot sections with the automated pump, so it's very hands off. Since it is family owned, we suggest this because it is hands off and it helps conserve and keep water clean, along with our warranty being 3 years. And this nipple also comes with the litter guard cup, which basically it just catches occasional drips in order to protect the litter and improve the bird's environmental conditions. And so we said that per 10 feet, there are 10 nipples. So this is rounding up to $72 per 10 feet. And that's around $13,000 per house dollars. And then per 10 feet, there can be 15 nipples. This is rounding up to $82 per 10 feet, around $15,900 a house. So for 10 nipples for all 6 houses, it would be roughly $78,000 in all.
So would you say the 10 and the 15 just so that they know they can get 10 chickens on one and then they can also get 15. So 10 is like the bare minimum, right? And then 15 is the max.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Jackson, would you explain number two?
Yeah. So when I started looking at customer number two, the thing that stuck out to me the most was the sheer size of the operation. I mean, he's got 450,000 laying hens. That's a lot. He doesn't say specifically how many houses there are, but you can kind of assume just the magnitude of the company. So what I was looking at when I started going over this and started researching, I found the specific nipple that is designed for layers. Since it's an egg production facility, they're focusing on biosecurity and efficiency. They've been recently looking into innovation in electronics and automation, which is doing things by themselves, which is really great because we have an automatic system that works really great.
That's exactly what we're for.
So what I was thinking for them was the 4078 nipple with it comes with everything just like the previous nipple. It's best for layers. It's sold in 10-foot sections as well, and it has 15 nipples per section, so it's great for high quantity like he has. It's going to roughly take 272 units for him for all of his birds. There's 15 nipples per section, 10 to 12 birds per nipple, about standard. You're looking at $87 per strand, so it's kind of a little bit more on the expensive side, but I think it pays off in the end. Overall, cost is going to be around $240,000 for this, but if it really does improve his quality that much, it's definitely worth it. Another thing that I would include is throwing in some litter guard for his nipples because this system doesn't come with them. It can be really useful, help keep chickens healthy, and it's better efficiency.
Okay. And you would say, considering how big his company is, that price is actually pretty fair.
I agree. I 100% agree because if you look at another source or another company, you might spend twice that with that amount.
Okay. Moving on to profile customer 3, this is the High Plains Heritage Farm. So what's different about them is instead of just having one kind of chicken or one kind of broiler, laying hens, whatever you want to say, they have 2 different kinds. So we would pitch them two different selling points, I guess you would say. We're going to give them the same nipple just so that it's easier on them. They're, again, family owned. Nobody wants to stay out there for forever. They don't have a lot of full-time help. They do have some, but it's not a big company like, say, Scott Jackson's was. What we would pitch to them, they have 4 houses, and there's 3,000 broilers per house for their broiler chickens. So we would pitch them the 4078 nipple, and we would do about 17 lines per house, and that would also mean that there would be 68 lines in all 4 houses, which is really nice. And then we would do $30 per 10 feet. So that's 10 nipples per 10 feet. That would be $30. $2,000 for all 4 houses. I would say that's a great deal, personally. Even if you moved up to the 15 and you did 15 nipples per 10 feet, that would still only be $2,080. Yeah. So that would also end up with the 10 nipples per 10 feet, or the 15 nipples per 10 feet, you would have $40 per 10 feet. So it's not that much of a difference if they do want to move up and they want to upgrade. When it comes to their laying hens, this is a different kind of system, and it's just a little bit different. We would still use the same nipple. Then again, with our warranty, if anything breaks, they don't have to order 2 different kinds of nipples. That would be frustrating on us. That would be frustrating on them. So they have 5,000 hens, and these are free-range chickens. So these chickens go out during the day, and then they come in at night. They can also come in during the day for water, but free-range chickens, free-range eggs, everyone knows they taste better. We do 22 lines, and then it doesn't specify how many houses they have for these 5,000, because considering that they're small houses and larger houses, we really just don't know. But we would say it would be about $79 per line and $18,000 for all 5,000 chickens for 15 nipples per line.
I do have one question.
Yes.
So for turkeys, I know from experience, I've had some turkeys before. They're really susceptible to disease. So how do you help keep that water clean for them?
For turkeys, personally, our whole entire system is all about keeping things clean. That's why we have the flush system. That's why their heads will always be raised. Turkeys, if you want to do turkeys, this is going to be more on the expensive side, obviously, because it's a completely different kind of bird. But our whole entire system is all about keeping things clean. Kate, if you'd like to go on to number 4.
All right, so number 4 is the Red River Game Birds in Wichita Falls. He has pheasants and quail that he's looking to buy a water system for. So he produces around 15,000 birds annually per year. So you're gonna get the 4050 -01 OptiGrowth system, since he's looking to raise these birds, and that's the best tip for the job. Probably we're gonna do 10 nipples per 10 feet, so the birds are not clobbered on each other, and they have room for each other.
You're assuming that the pheasants and the quail are together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
they're
that
in the
makes
same vicinity. So, and then for each line, it's going to be about $73 around that remark. And then he can have about 100 birds per line, so he'll need about 150 around there to get all his birds. And that'd be about $21,000 for the whole thing, which is not bad since he's selling game birds and so a lot.
I think we've worked hard to do our research.